All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the nation of Israel. Alright, this is going to be a video on this video that I've seen before, man, and I'm going to just talk about this a little bit, and it just shows that Eve in general is quite kind of just an idiot, man, right? And this woman is like a template of several so-called Israelite women out there, man, which really they're so-called Negro women. They don't deserve the honor of being called Israelites. They don't deserve the honor of being called Israelites, man, because they don't act in a way in which an Israelite should act, right? And what she goes on to say, this woman here, is that, which this bit's fine, I don't really have a problem with this, but she got asked, does the average woman find the average man attractive, or do most women find most men that they see attractive? And then the first woman says no, and then this woman goes on to say no as well, but then elaborates and says that she tries to say nah, because most men don't try and take care of their appearance. And then she even mentioned stats of cosmetic surgery, and she said that women don't have cosmetic surgery because they want to have cosmetic surgery. They do it because they're trying to get the men that they want. But if you look at the things that these women are changing, a lot of the times it's not even things that men speak on like that, man. And they are doing it for themselves, really. They are really doing it for themselves, man, because a woman's glory, according to the scriptures, is herself, right? Because if these women so-called care about what men want so much, then these Israelite women would have fixed up their dirty, stinking attitude that they've got, where they're running their mouth all the time. Because it's funny how these women are always prepared to change the physical appearance that they think that men want so badly. But yet none of these Israelite women have been able to change their stinking attitudes yet, man. Right? They haven't been able to humble themselves down and fix up. So if it's really a thing where they're trying to care about men, as they say they are, then how comes they haven't changed that bit then? How comes they only want to change the appearance because they know that their looks is their glory? And I think it's a damn nerve for women to try and make out like they're so fine as they think they are, when damn near 70% of everything that men might find attractive about them is fake, right? That's not her hair. That's not her hair, man. And some Jakes might find this woman attractive among the Israelite women, but I personally think that she's not really. That's just the average so-called black woman, and especially if it was to take out all this stuff that's on her, man. If you take off the makeup that she's got on her face, right? If you was to take off the nails that she's got on there, if you was to take out the weave, for damn sure, it would be a completely dramatic change, right? But it just shows, man, that the Israelite woman's whole reason why she's proud is because of all the things that Esau's gave them as allowances to increase their pride, man. Weave, right? The makeup industry, social media, cosmetic surgery, right? All these things have further increased not only the Israelite woman's pride, not only the so-called black woman's pride, all of these women's pride. But in particular, the Israelite woman is the one that's supposed to be the most godly. But they're the worst. They're the worst, man. And let me get some scriptures, man. Let's get this. Because Yahweh's going to get them, man. And he's already got them anyway. But they've been given a fake beauty now, for the most part. A lot of them have been given a fake beauty. And some people are saying, nah, you're just a waste, man. You just like heathens or whatever. They can say whatever they want to say, man. The average Israelite woman is not attractive as they think they are, man. And that's just telling it like it is, man. The average so-called black woman is not nowhere near as attractive as you think they are. They're not, and excuse me, not as attractive as they think they are. This is Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16. Moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet, which is what that woman was doing. She's trying to think that because she can get cosmetic surgery, that means that she's attractive for real. When for men have to go to the gym, man, right? And all these women have become lazy, man. They'll buy a BBL, right? And then the glutes don't match the hamstrings, bruh. The glutes, just to put this out there, man, for people that might not know, The glute muscles is someone's ass, right? The glute muscles of the body is the biggest muscle on the body, right? So if you go and buy a fake glutes and make it be a crazy size, way bigger in proportions than the rest of your body, it's going to look stupid. It's going to look stupid and does look stupid, right? And then in order to maintain these things that they do through the surgery anyway, in order to make it look right on the body, you have to do exercise anyway. So they may as well have just did exercise in the first place, right? And then that's going to have some more longevity to it, man. But it's mad, man. It's become stupid in this world, man. Let me read this. Verse 17, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts. Now, if this woman didn't have, that you can see on this screen right now, yeah, if she didn't have all this weave and all this stuff on right now, she wouldn't be running her mouth like she was running her mouth on this thing right here that I saw. She wouldn't be running her mouth, man. She wouldn't be running her mouth proud as hell. And that's why Yahweh's going to take women's attractiveness away from them, man. And a lot of the attractiveness that we even see is not real. All these men that simp over all these women, they do it because these women have been able to transform themselves on some Hollywood makeovers every single day when they go into their house, man. And they open up that cauldron of makeup that they got in their makeup bags, man. Right? And to put it into perspective, if you look up a picture of this one model, man, Tyra Banks, if you just look up Tyra Banks before she's got makeup on and before she got a weave on, mate, she looks bugged out, man. And I heard that comedian Corey Holcomb, he described her as looking like the alien from American Dad, if you know what that looks like. Right? And this ain't just no video to be bunning out the Israelite woman, but at the same time, in this video, I'm going to be bunning out the Israelite woman, man, because they need to fix up and stop being proud, man, and thinking that they're the stuff, man. Because Yahweh's is getting ready to take away all the pride that they have based on their appearance, man. And then what they're going to have left, just their personality and their spirit, which their personality sucks because their spirit sucks, man. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts. And these women are getting exposed every day, man. They're getting despised for being Dubai Harry Potters. Salakia. Salakia. Man. Salakia. See, even Yahweh got me, man, for being too proud, man. Yeah, they're being Dubai toilet potties, man. Yeah? But they want to run their mouth talking smack. And they want to show all these pictures that they got on social media when we know that their salary can't afford those flights. So something fishy is going on for you to be going to all those places, man. Something fishy happened for you to go there. Right? Verse 18, in that day Yahweh will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cords and their round ties like the moon, and the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers. So look, yeah. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands, and the tablets and the earrings. And in this modern time now, we can add more onto that. The weaves and the BBL surgery, the stupid fingernails, right? All of that, man. The foundation of on your face that you got, the makeup, all of that is gonna get torn away, man. It's gonna run out, man. It's gonna run out. And then your real appearance, which looks like Whoopi Goldberg, is gonna be made for all the eyes to see, man. Your real appearance, man. All these women running around thinking they're a damn 10. How would that even balance out? That all these women are 10s, but the men ain't 10s according to the women. Why would you make the balance of the scales not be like that? It don't even make no damn sense, man. The hell are these people talking about? Idiots. Verse 20, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel. So all them Birkin bags, or the Chanel, the Louis Vuitton, all those brands that you love so much, you ain't going to have access to those for the women that do have them. Because some of these women are walking around in Primark acting like it's Louis. And they're expecting men to have Louis Vuitton when they got Primark on. You understand? Faking it, man. Running their mouth with filters on every single picture. And then if you was to see these people in real life, They don't look like that, man. They don't look like that. The changeable suits of apparel and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen, and the hoods and the vials, excuse me, and the hoods and the veils, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, they shall be stinking. Even the men are gonna stink when how it starts jacking his world up, man. Just picture how much you stink if you do a jog 1 mile or whatever. If you do a little workout that might have a high intensity of it, right, for half an hour or whatever. Think about how badly you stink after that, man. But the time's gonna come when you ain't gonna be able to even wash. Because if you stop for a moment to try and rest, something bad might happen, man. You might get jacked up. And women are more dirty than men, according to the scriptures. According to the scriptures, there's a longer cleansing period when a mother gives birth to a daughter than when she gives birth to a son. Why is that? And how are these women going to be when their menstrual comes and they don't have those things necessary to handle that? How are they going to be, man? They're going to be ran out, man. They're going to be ran out in that day, man. Ran out and ran down, man. And all that pride that they had is not going to be present anymore, man. All that stupid cosmetic surgery that you're going to have in them. Some of the people are going to melt. That BBL and them is going to melt, man. Verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well-set hair, boldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girdle of sackcloth. And burning instead of beauty. So these women ain't going to be looking pretty like what they look like now, man. For the ones that do. And for the ones that don't but think they are, they're going to be looking even worse than they look now. So the so-called 10s are going to be 5s. The 5s are going to be 1s. And the 1s are going to be minus. And there ain't going to be no men that would have normally came to help them, to make them feel comfortable, that would get on their live and make them feel alright for acting a damn fool in public. Or that would write them a nice comment, damn girl, with the heart emojis and all that. That's not going to be there neither, man. And there's one of the elders that always makes it known that how these women like the carousel right now, right? And they like riding the carousel right now. And he always makes it known that the day is going to come that the carousel is going to ride them, man. And that's true. Because if you look into news stories enough, you see that Yahweh's raising up spirits on these madmen out here to be going on a mad one anyway on some of these wicked women, man. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that always taking place. Verse 25, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, meaning all the men that make these women feel comfortable and enable them to act like this, man. They're gonna lose. Verse 26, and her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Right? So when she loses all that stuff, that's when the humility is gonna come. Right? A lot of these Israelite women want to try and run their mouths all the time and make out like the men are the problem, as if they wasn't in the 90s and in the early 2000s being set up chicks, getting Israelite men killed, and if they wasn't dating every single drug dealer, and then when he dies, then they try and get with the rival, right? As if they wasn't doing that, as if they wasn't making fathers kicking them out of the house, as if they wasn't getting pregnant by a guy that didn't want to have no children just so that they could get a house off the government, as if they weren't doing these things, man. But now they want to try and play dumb and act like they didn't know this stuff, and they're being faces of men like the Kevin Samuels and all that, saying how we're going to fix the community when they're the ones that jacked the community up in the first place. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9, rise up, you women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, and give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins, meaning they're going to be falling down, man, from their high position that they've been given now. Which the position that they got now is still a joke anyway, because for all the talk of them being equal and them being queens and all of this, they still always have to run to Daddy Esau to get backing. He's always got a backing, man. He's always standing behind them while they're running their mouth, barking like a big pit bull that they act like, man. With the sword just showing it, letting it know, like, listen, man, you better do whatever Eve says. Otherwise, I'm going to come down on you with the sword. And Eve dwells in that, man. She loves that. If you look into into certain things, you'll see that they actually have that some of these wicked Israelite women have said they get turned on by seeing an Israelite man get arrested by Esau, man. That's how bad it is out here. The so-called what's it called? The divester movement, man. Demons. Verse 12, they shall lament for the teach for the present field, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine, meaning that when all of these things that I was reading about in Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, fall and they're taken away from them, they're going to be crying for that stuff to come back, man. They're going to be crying for OnlyFans. They're going to be crying for WhatsApp to come back. They're going to be crying for TikTok to come back, right? They're going to be crying for their followers account. They're going to be crying for their Instagram account when the internet gets locked off. They're going to be crying for all of that, man, and it's not going to be there. It's not going to be there, man. They're not going to have the ability to have that. And at the same time as they're seeing all of this stuff going down, they're going to see men that they didn't think was nothing getting raised up right in front of their face, man. Right in front of their face. They're going to see the thing that they heard about but rejected and thought it didn't have no value. They're going to see that become the main doctrine of life right in their face. And they're going to try and think they can try and fake humility, and it's not going to be accepted, man. Because we know you Israelite women, man. We know you. We some of you are our family, right? And men deal with y'all. We know what you're about, man. We know that you're full of BS, man. Full of it, and that you blame everybody else apart from yourself all the time, man. And that you always try and find a scapegoat to get out of judgment every time. Not some of the time, all of it, man. And that you project what you are onto the Israelite man all the time, man. And that you fake that you've balling and that you've got riches and all of this, but you ain't nowhere near as rich as you think you are, man. And you're living paycheck to paycheck, just like what the Israelite man's living. So don't gas it, man. You ain't got it like that. Micah chapter 7, I'm going to go straight to verse 10. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Because if an Israelite woman stumbled upon this video, a lot of them would have already turned it off. Or they would have tried to find out who's talking, right? And then try and find out something about my appearance that they can say, that they can bun out. Or if they didn't find nothing like that they wanted to say, then they'd find out something about my clothes that they want to try and say. And if they didn't find anything like about that in the video, if they didn't find anything like that, then they'd try and find out how much money I make or whatever. They're going to try and find out something that they can try and use as an excuse to not be able to take the rebuke that's well-deserved, man. That's well-deserved. And all these women that think that this isn't going to happen, that stumble upon videos like this, just watch when it happens, man. I saw a video the other day, and so lucky if it seems like I'm rambling, man, but I saw a video the other day of an Israelite girl getting beat up by some gypsy travelers or whatever, right? The whole family of other girls was like kicking her in the head and all that. No one came to help her, man. No one came to help her. That's how wicked the Israelite woman is, that people don't even want to defend her, man. And in an area that I used to live in, man, there was this one Israelite woman that used to be a demon to people in that, man. And when her house burnt down and that, from the stories that I heard afterwards, way back and that, nobody wanted to try and come and help her, man. And this was an old woman, man. They didn't care. You understand? They didn't care, man. They just they just called the ambulance and all that. They didn't try and do nothing else to try and, they called the fire brigade, right? But they didn't really try and put in much effort to help us what they would have with their own people, man. Old people. You see? They didn't try and help like that, man. And that's what it's going to be like when all hell breaks loose in this society, man. People ain't going to help Eve, man. They're not going to help her. She's not going to have no defense, man, because she ain't got hands like what she thinks she's got hands. She's used to running her mouth, and then people just don't want to deal with it. So they just let her say what she's going to say. But she ain't got hands like that. She's no different than any other woman when it comes to physicality, really, man. She ain't no different. She's just more slick with the tongue and running her damn mouth, man. Verse 10, then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the street. So women are going to see men that they rejected and that they thought was nothing. And I'm not even talking about in no kind of lustful way. I'm talking about men that they rejected any thought process that these men had. They didn't think that these men could say anything of value. So they just laughed at them. When they see that the things that these people were saying were true, they're going to be disgusted with themselves, man. And some of them are gonna try and fake humility and try and think that they can try and, oh, you remember me? Nah, yeah, I do. Unfortunately, we do remember you. Unfortunately for you, we do remember you. And it's not gonna be a nice time when that stuff takes place, man. For all you proud, wicked Negro women out there, man, and all the other tribes too, women that are demons too. But over here in the UK, we don't really see that much of those tribes, man. We normally see Benjamin over here, right? That's the main tribe that you'll be seeing over here of Israelite women, Benjamin. And then in the south, you'll see a lot of Benjamin and Judah over there. And you might even see the Northern Kingdom over in London. But that's not the part of the UK that I live. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our approach. So all the women that rejected the word are going to see other women wanting to be accepting of the men that have the word. They're going to see that. And in that time when they see that, shame's just going to cover them. Now they're going to be trodden down as the mire of the streets, because men ain't going to be trying to hear nothing what they said, man. Some of them are going to have to get reset and brought back and respawned in the kingdom, man. That's what's going to be the case for a lot of these Israelite women that are running their mouth. Running their mouth, man. And they don't even make sense with what they're saying. And they think that cosmetic surgery means that they're beautiful for real. And they think that cosmetic surgery makes them be something special. They really think that. But they don't go into the scriptures. They don't say, you know what? I wonder what God says is a good woman. They don't think that. They don't say, you know what? Let me see what Proverbs 31 is talking about. Because I've heard about this Proverbs 31 and 10 thing before. Let me have a research of that and see if I can mold myself on that to become a better woman. They'll say, nah, let me see what the world's talking about. And the world's talking about a BBL, cosmetic surgery, weaves, right, twerking, and madness. So I'm going to copy that. That's what they say. Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman for her price is far above rubies. So if all these women are tens, as they say, this scripture would mean that this scripture is not true. If all women are tens and all women are just so fine and they're fire and they're hot stuff, right, and they just got it going on, that would mean that this scripture that I just read is not true. But this scripture is true. So that means that the women that are saying this stuff are liars. Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman for a price is far above rubies? So all that high value women talk that you women be running around talking about, that ain't real, man. That's not real. And even the high value men talk, that ain't real neither. Because you can't be no so-called high value man in this world and you can get locked up in a prison cell for months on end without them really even saying what you did wrong, and you're just stuck in there, man. You can't really call yourself no high value man and think that you know alpha and all this alpha that, because they can't. When Yahweh Shai comes back, the damn sure ain't going to be arresting him. That's alpha male. Yahweh's the alpha and the omega, you know, the first and the last. He's going to show the world what it really means like to be a man, man, when he comes with his army. Right now in this world, if you're an Israelite, you ain't no man like that, man. So let's not fool ourselves, shall we? Because at any moment, our securities can be affected, man, because we have to go to our enemy in the want of all things. And it actually is strength to tell the truth and accept this, rather than pretend that you're a king and that you're a queen in this world like what our people do. We ain't no king or no queen down here, man. We're gonna be. But as it stands right now, really, ultimately, we ain't nothing down here, man. Neither do we deserve to be until the kingdom, if we repent. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Right? So that's how you escape a wicked woman, by being righteous. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among 1,000, but a woman among all those have I not found. So Solomon was seeking to find a woman of value, man. And he had 1,000 women when you read about King Solomon. So he wanted to see a righteous woman and he didn't see it, man. He was designed to see a right. So if King Solomon couldn't find it, you think we're gonna? And that ain't to say that every single brother's woman or that our own women are just pieces of trash and garbage, but they ain't really meeting the standard of righteousness either, man. Just like how we ain't really meeting the standard of righteousness, but we're closer to it than they are, though. Men believe in the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, way more than women will ever believe in God for real, man. Women don't really believe in God for real. And that's what the apostles always let us be known. And the thing that they use to prove it is very true. All these women that say that they believe in God for real, all you have to do is point them towards the scripture that says about the multiple wives. They'll start saying, yeah, but men wrote that. You'll soon see how deep how deep is their love. You know, you're soon seeing how deeper their love is for the scriptures. Then, when you point that bit out to them, man. Verse 28 again, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. So women ain't really righteous like that, man. And when all hell breaks loose, it's going to be shown that you women should have been humble, man. Because there's a whole bunch of people out there in this world that are loony bins, man, and that don't care, right? They don't care about none of that feminism stuff that you're talking about. All you women that think that you're strong because you're in yoga pants doing deadlifts or Romanian deadlifts and you're squatting with your whole batty crease all up in the screen with that stupid TikTok robotic voice saying whatever captions you've put on the video, right? And you think you're strong because you can deadlift, because you can squat 3 plates or whatever. You're gonna find out that lifting weights is not fighting. Just like how a lot of men that think that they're tough because they lift weights, they're going to find out that lifting weights heavy does not mean you're about that life. It don't mean that, man. They're going to find out, man. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So every single skill that people have that they think they're going to be able to use to try and show as an example of what's right in the world and what the true way of living is, they're going to get to show that. So if a woman thinks that having a BBL and a fat batty means that you're going to make it in this world, right? Well, she's going to be able to test that theory out. If she thinks that having lip fillers in is the ultimate way, if she thinks because she's pretty that that's the ultimate way to make it in this world, she's going to get to see that. For all the men that think being a tough, I can do 25 clap press-ups before my hands even touch the ground from one push, you're going to get to see if that's what it's about, you know? I can do a pistol squat, me. Well, you're going to get to see if that means something, man. I'm the UFC champ. Well, we're going to get to see if that means you're a tough guy then, if that means that you're going to make it on them chariots. For the rich guy, I made a killing on crypto last month. You're going to get to see if that was what works, right? The wise guy, I understand psychology down to a T. I know exactly how the human mind works. I know what people are going to do before they've did it. Well, we're going to see if you knew that Yahweh Shai was going to come into the heavens and enter through the atmosphere of the heavenly realm and into the earth. We're going to see how you describe that and how you break that down. And all the men of faith of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai that either sung the new song or believed the new song, they're going to get to see if their way was the right way. And you know what? It's going to be found that it was the right way. Verse 17, a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. And women love going into the cities, man. They love that. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Women are more proud than men. Because a man's glory is his woman, but a woman's glory is herself. You understand? Women glory in themselves. Imagine if a man's glory was himself and a woman's glory was her man. We'd be the proud ones then, more than them. But their glory is themselves, man. So if something is more beneficial for themselves than it is for the man, they're going to go with what glories themselves than the man for the most part, man. Unless, of course, it's that virtuous woman that I've read about from Proverbs 31 and 10. And just like how the woman's supposed to glory in us, we're supposed to glory in Yahweh. And that's what we've been punished with women that are wicked like this right now, because we didn't do what we were supposed to do, man. So every time we think about how evil our women have been towards us, then we need to remember how evil we've been to Yahweh, man. And that keeps us humble on that thought process. Because if our woman was right now, then we'd still be wicked, man. Because that would make this wicked kingdom a lot easier to bear. So it's a good thing that it's like this right now. Verse 18, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You can't look attractive when there's lack of bread. And no one cares about big loots and batty creases all in the screen when people are hungry. The most attractive woman in the world is not more attractive than food when your stomach's grumbling. People are gonna tell that woman, people will dive over that woman's head in order to get that last can of beans, man, and she won't get one bean from that tin in a time of famine. She won't get none of that, man. They won't care. They won't care about none of that in that time, man. And that's just a fact. I'm going to end the lesson there, man. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Hasham Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hasham Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. Shalom.